Well, I guess if nothing else, I had a pretty couple good laughs yesterday. Again, yesterday was April Fool's Day, so you're going to be getting some kind of, pranks or rumors or clickbait or all sorts of other, stuff. I mean, I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll talk about what, before I get into, actually, it will lead into me talking about the Masked Singer anyway. So, really, talking about what I plan on talking about really wouldn't be bad. Which should actually be a pretty, good way to prepare for the end of the, prepare for, I have no idea where we're going with this. I'm sorry. I'm trying to multitask here. I'm trying to look up, trying to get to something while talking to you. That's multitasking. Anyway, good morning. Happy Thursday, everybody. So, yesterday, I just said it was April Fool's Day. So, I heard and ran into some pretty decent, jokes. A couple of them actually did sort of get me. But, sort of like rumors and clickbait. Like, one was, actually a couple involved, football, actually. One of the channels I watch, Set the Edge, shout out to you guys, they actually did why Bill O'Brien is the best GM ever, in spite of what other people may say. At first, I really did think it was an April Fool's Day video. And in a lot of ways, it kind of was. But they at least actually had an explanation for it, so it's pretty good. Basically, if for those of you who don't know, Bill O'Brien is the head coach and now GM of the Houston Texans. And if you don't already know, recently he traded his best wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins, for a running back from the Cardinals named David Johnson. Basically, what Set the Edge did was they talked about how he has one running back named David Johnson, but he already had another running back named Duke Johnson. So you have two people with the same initial and the same last name. It's going to confuse defenses all over the place. I mean, yeah, it was clear it was an April Fool's Day joke, but at the very least, there was an explanation behind it. So, props. I can respect them for that. There was one where TPS did a like Aaron Rodgers is retiring, which, that ain't gonna happen. I mean, honestly, he ain't as great as people make him out to be, but he's not gonna retire for a good long while. So, of course, I knew right away that that video was a hoax. What's another one? Well, considering that there's a One Piece manga, I said this before, but sometimes before the One Piece manga chapter comes out, they have spoilers. And this sort of got me, and it sort of didn't. I mean, I was skeptical because it was April Fool's Day. And then I'm reading what the spoilers did say. Again, it doesn't really tell me much, especially considering that it was April Fool's Day. And full disclosure, it did end up being an April Fool's Day joke. But I gotta give credit where credit's due. Whoever wrote that article did a really good job of predicting what could actually happen in the story. I mean, it's almost to the point where I almost think maybe that actually could happen. I mean, again, the bottom of the article said, it was an April Fool's Day joke, but, it was saying stuff like Act 3 of Wano ends in the middle of the chapter, first time ever. Like, there's yet another spy in the bad guys, or all sorts of crazy stuff that, for the most part, I didn't really pay that much attention to. Plus, considering that yesterday was Wednesday and the spoilers didn't come out until at least today, made me a little bit more skeptical. But, I can give credit where credit's due because, again, the person who actually wrote this April Fool's Day joke actually did a really good job of, sort of, I'm trying to say they did a good job writing it out so it looked real. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm having trouble talking. Well, I did go to bed late last night, though. I'll get to why in a minute. And believe it or not, even False Swipe Gaming. Yeah, that awesome YouTube channel where pretty much every beginning of the week I do a how good was ... actually, for the history of competitive Pokemon battling. Even they got into the action. I'll put a link to that video in the description down below. And it's funny because it's meant to be an April Fool's Day joke, and yet it really isn't. Because a lot of what's in the video is 100% true. All it really does beg the question, though, why not? So, I guess with that said, why not talk about The Masked Singer? Yes, and there's some good April Fool's Day jokes on there. Oh, there was one really great April Fool's Day joke, and one not so great one. And if you saw last night's episode, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, let's get into the one that came first, which was a really great one. See, lately what The Masked Singer's been doing is, when they start the episode, it's the panel of 4 judges and, a guest judge. And the guest judge is wearing a mask, so, they end up taking off the mask and they reveal who it is. And you had a couple good, there were a few great guest judges, Gabriel Iglesias, T-Pain, aka the winner of The Masked Singer, season 1. Will Arnett, he was another one. But last night, and this is where it really got me, this one was a legitimately good joke. And that was, they start off with the guest judge being Snoop Dogg. I'm like, holy crap, it's Snoop Dogg! Oh, man. Oh, Snoop Dogg. See, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Snoop Dogg is one of those guys where if I ever met him, I would just be like from Wayne's World, just be like, I'm not worthy, I'm not worthy, I'm not worthy. Like, that, you do that for Snoop Dogg, okay? That's what I would do. Then again, it's come from a guy who's also doing it for Weird Al Yankovic, but I digress. Anyway, so here's where the joke got real because it wasn't Snoop Dogg. It was Nick Cannon's friend named Eric, who is a really good Snoop Dogg impersonator. Which, I swear I don't mean to sound like racist or anything when I say this, but that was a really good, impersonation of Snoop Dogg from top to bottom. It really was. I say I don't mean to sound racist because it's one racial stereotype where, white people think that all black people, quote unquote, look alike. And I swear I don't fall underneath that category at all. This is a really good, impersonation. It really was. Sound like him when he talked and everything. But, again, it ended up being not Snoop Dogg, so my heart was very much broken. Thank you, Masked Singer. But then again, I love The Masked Singer, so it's all well and good. Now, here's where we get to the not so very good joke. See, for one thing, well, I should iterate, this was the April Fool's Day episode, so anything could happen. So, if you could have a Snoop Dogg impersonator be one of the guest panel, anything could happen. But, near the end of the episode, Nick Cannon said, this is the last time that, he did the whole, this is the last time I'm hosting, you're going to get someone else next week. April Fools! I'm like, that's one of the oldest kinds of jokes in the book. And considering that you literally had one of the greatest, impersonators of Snoop Dogg ever, you probably should have done the bad joke first. Escalation, folks. So, yeah, that's what ended up happening. So, actually, I'm talking about the jokes, I'm actually talking about the episode. So, yes, we got into the Super 9, which featured the white tiger, the rhino, the night angel, the astronaut, the kitty, the frog, the banana, the turtle, and the kangaroo. Now, here's what they ended up doing. They ended up doing all three remaining combatants from each individual groups. Group A, Group B, and Group C. The turtle, the kangaroo, and the banana were in Group A. The frog, the kitty, and... it was the white tiger, the kangaroo, and the turtle. They were Group A. The kitty, the frog, and the banana were Group B. And the astronaut, the night angel, and the rhino were Group C. And the weakest singer of each individual group had to be one of the bottom three for that week. So in the end, it was between the banana, the rhino, and the white tiger. And it was the white tiger that ended up getting eliminated. Now, this is the Masked Singer. Anyone could be underneath the mask, even with really good clues. Now, this was one that... Now, when the rhino ended up getting eliminated, a lot of people were thinking it was definitely a major NFL star. Say, like, a J.J. Watt. Or, someone like that. It ended up being Rob Gronkowski. Someone who retired from the NFL. Or, actually, another guess was John Cena. But, he wasn't there. But anyway, yes. It ended up being Rob Gronkowski. Now, here's how they really ended up doing it. Because, some of the clues... Because they do explain what the clues meant when the singer is revealed. One of the clues that was there that no one picked up on was, there were pats of butter. And, Rob Gronkowski played for the New England Patriots. But sometimes people refer to them as the Pats, which is kind of cool. But without question, and this is what Rob Gronkowski said, it was the most obvious clue that ever could have been given. And it was a poster of a cow skiing. Rob Gronkowski. That is really clever. A really clever clue. I mean, they didn't outright... Because you see the poster, but they don't outright, show it and put it prominently on display. In fact, if anything, it's more like... It'd be like if I had a picture, in the background. You'd really be paying attention to me quite possibly more than the picture in the background. But that was a really good clue. But again, thank you, Rob Gronkowski. You were awesome. And as last night's song most definitely said, you very much are too sexy for your shirt. I'm not kidding, that was the song you did. Although the way I said it just a moment ago kind of sounded weird. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, that's a bulk of a lot of the clues that, happened yesterday. And, I had a lot of fun. Had myself a couple of good laughs. I mean, it goes without saying everyone's performance on the Masked Singer was awesome. And with that being said, that's 10 episodes down and quite possibly 8 to go. I don't really know, because next week they're doing a thing where they pit two singers against each other, and I guess they're choosing between those two and then picking the winner. I don't really know. But whatever happens, it should be pretty fun to watch. And I honestly can't wait. In the meantime, there are some things that can, whet my appetite in terms of preparing for the next awesome thing I love coming up. I mean, again, we have a new episode of Hot Ones today, in spite of, the circumstances of what's been happening. So, yes, this will be... So, I already said before, but this week's guest on Hot Ones is going to be Zac Efron. I like Zac Efron. Zac Efron's pretty cool. I mean, he grew into popularity doing the High School Musical movies when I was in high school, so, I guess I sort of have, You know, I have a soft spot for the guy. It's pretty cool. And, yeah. All we can do now is, wait. This will be the penultimate episode of Season 11. And next week, Hot Ones Season 11 is going to end, sadly, on a bit of a whimper because of everything going on. But, again, if yesterday's video title said anything, it's the only fools here in April will be the ones that let these times get them down. And I'm certainly not going to let that happen to me. And you shouldn't either. Like, favorite, share, highlight, subscribe button, follow me on social media platforms. Feel free to comment anywhere if you'd like. Feel free to follow me on social media platforms. I already said that. I'm very humbled I made this video for all of you guys watching. Enjoy for today, and hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. You're ready to watch some Hot Ones. And remember, if you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here until London here. I'll always have your back. Take care, and make good choices. And remember, if every pork chop were perfect, we wouldn't have hot dogs. Bye.